Hey everybody, Guilty here, and we have another video exploring the innards of our beloved title, Ninja Gaiden Black. So, just to give you a little bit of background, if you're sort of new to the channel, we have a soft-modded original Xbox. We just recently upgraded the hard drive to a 500 gigabyte SATA drive, which has enabled us to burn more than a Togi Myth of Demons to the hard disk. Now, I had been exploring the files and the file structure of Ninja Gaiden and Ninja Gaiden Black off of the CD, but now that it's burned to the hard drive, or ripped rather, I can take files off and then put files on, and we can try to modify the game in a couple different ways. My first attempt was pretty successful when I discovered that the Ninja of the Future costume, which we all thought was exclusive to NG04, it turns out that that texture is in NGB as well. You can't pick it. There's only the stock black jumpsuit. There's the Hatsuma. There is the arcade Ninja Gaiden. There's like the Dragon Fiend Ninja Gaiden. There's Dead or Alive. But Ninja of the Future wasn't selectable, just like Shinobi isn't selectable, but Shinobi is your default for the first two missions. Well, it turns out, with a little bit of tomfoolery, you can play as the Ninja of the Future. Now, that does not come with the Plasma Saber, so my next question was, well, is there a way to swap out the Dragon Sword with the Plasma Saber, or the Dragon Sword with Tabilero, or the Dragon Sword with the Wooden Sword? If you want to do a Wooden Sword run, I would like to sort of mod it to where you have the Wooden Sword right off the bat for the very first encounter. So you can do a true speed run or a true wooden sword run. Well, in addition to trying to swap weapons around, I'm also trying to play around with colors. The easiest example I could find was Rachel's Warhammer. When you first meet her at the end of chapter 5, that Warhammer model is exclusive and specific to her. So I was thinking, well, why don't I just extract that texture and invert the colors. Invert it, re-import it, and then see what happens. Well, so far, haven't been successful with that either. The game chokes as soon as it gets to that scene. It doesn't know what to do. So here's the hex information for Rachel's hammer. It is quite lengthy. But I have used some texture finder programs here to see what I was looking at, so I knew what to do. And there it is. Now I'm able to figure out that right here where the image file begins, that is header 3000. And then from that point down to here where the image file more or less ends, well, not image file, the texture where it ends, that is 8000 bytes, I want to say. So go in here and I'll go to select block. I'll go to start offset 3000, and the length will be 8000. This entire selection is the hammer, is the texture, because I can delete all of that. We'll save it as ham, and now we will reload it in our texture viewer. Ham, and it's gone. Entire texture's gone. Now, all this other crap that's in here, it's got to be some sort of data that the game uses. It's not just junk data, it can't be. So I'm trying to figure out how I can change those 5,000 or so bytes of data and then put it back into the game. And then there you go. You modified a weapon's appearance, and then maybe you could modify Rachel's or Ishtaros's appearances. You can change the colors of Gamov's coat, of the ninjas that you encounter. The possibilities are endless. It's just can't seem to get over that hump at the moment. However, today is not a total loss. Well, this weekend isn't a total loss because I was trying to work on this yesterday and didn't have much luck. Turns out that there are a lot of sprite files in this game. Now, Greed Explorer is an XPR viewer, but the files that I was pulling out of NGB, well, they are SPR files. So I'm thinking, well, what do I do? These are sprites. I've tried like 6 different sprite viewers. Could not figure out for the life of me why they weren't working. And then I went into the hex editor with some of these guys. And right there, you have the header. It might be a .spr, but I think technically, according to the header, it's an XPR. So I just changed the extension from SPR to XPR, and when Grid Explorer chooses to cooperate, you see some things. Hey everybody, so that was recorded yesterday, Sunday, 10/11, and in that time I have done a little bit of light research, and looks like you can go into command prompt and you can do a mass file extension change if you so choose. So initially we had a bunch of SPRs, right? Well, you go into command prompt, you change directory to wherever you are here to your file path, and then you do ren wildcard dot whatever your extension was, and then wildcard dot to whatever extension you want it to be. So change SPR to XPR, and everything is viewable. So I cut off a good chunk of the second half of the video yesterday when I was going through what few textures or sprites rather, what few things I was able to look at yesterday. But now we have a whole bunch of stuff that we can look at. So I started off with the game over screen, and now this is called clear.xpr. This is your clear screen. You have right here real small clear time, kills, essence, Ninpo karma. You have your ninja rankings, and I cross-reference these because one of my videos I had head ninja, and that is that one right there. So I am going to assume ninja dog, lesser ninja, greater ninja, head ninja, and then master ninja. And then this right here, I did not recognize. I had no idea what this screen was. I thought it was something that was unused, but this is actually in the backdrop when the doors open and you are given your ninja ranking. Had no idea. I never noticed that texture before. I never noticed that graphic. Something else that caught me off guard, as you can see here, you have different phases of your Ninpo gauge, because it is a animated flame, so it's going to be different. It's going to change, right? Well, then you got this. I do not remember your Ninpo gauge filling up gradually, like getting a small red and it gives you just a small bit of Ninpo. I do not recall that being a thing. It's very odd, I think, isn't it? What else we have? That's clear. So options is your options menu for your brightness, your gamma is right up there. That's the backdrop for that. You have your different flags, controllers, shop. Oh, Muramasa's down there. There's the backdrop for a shop. Shop, blacksmith talk, essence, something sold out, weapon levels, if you maxed it out or not. Save load. Chapter start. You have your different chapter names here. The core gets its own. There's backdrop to the theater screen. Tomoe, which I guess is short for Koei Tecmo. You have, is it right? Yeah, Tecmo right here. So you have the different Ninja Gaidens here. So you have the the English covers, and then you have the Japanese covers. Very interesting stuff. You have your item get screen, and then you have weapon sprites. The Boken, the wooden sword, and the UF in all of its glory. Level 1 flails, level 2 flails, level 1 hammer, level 2 hammer, level 1 katana, 2, 3, and then true dragon sword, labeled S katana, super katana. You have Koku, which is dark dragon blade. You have the nunchaku, and you do have the sprite for the plasma saber. Level 2 and level 3, all the same. And then you have super saber right here. In between you have the spear gun. Here's the kaitetsu, and kaitetsu level 2 is the same as level 1, so here you go. The change. The dabi, level 2, level 3. The arrows, the bows with the different arrows, exploding shuriken, folding shuriken or windmill shuriken, and your traditional shuriken. And then, hey, there's the old Xbox machine, Ayane's kunai. And now we have BG, which I'm gonna say is Bangle. And then you have BST HP. So this is the Armlet of Tranquility that restores your HP, but I do not recall it being in Ninja Gaiden Black because they took out the HP leech effect from the Kaitetsu, which this was supposed to counteract. But the sprite, and I'm going to guess the item itself, is still in the game because as I get deeper and deeper screwing around with NGB, it is starting to look more like they took everything from NGO4, rolled it over, and then just added some more shit on top of it. They didn't take anything out. You have your Ninpo bangle. What is that? Is that Armlet of Fortune? You have your Strength, Armlet of the Sun, Defense, Armlet of the Moon, and then Bangle Incense, Essence, Armlet of Benediction. That literally says no data. And then we got some books, journals, the tablet, different keys. There's the chalice, the Holy Grail, more books, the Golden Scarab, the Eye of Fire, the Eye of Ice, the cog and the shield, and then the different statues that you pick up. This is the raptor, this is the wolf, this is devil, serpent. There is your Life of the Gods, Lives of the Thousand Gods, Spirit of the Devils. The Jewel of the Demon Seal is around here somewhere. It's under like Ninpo Growth or something. But before I move on anymore, I want to show you something really weird. So Life of the Gods is for your grow HP. Spirit of the Devils is to grow MP. Jewel of the Demon Seal is for Ninpo. Well then, as I was getting through here, I found this. Grow Weapon. Since it's called Grow Weapon, did they have a different system before they implemented the Muramasa store? I have no idea. Because I have no idea what the fuck this is. Additionally, this says right here we have Ayane, Kuri, Kurum, and Sakur, or whatever. Yeah, these are not exactly like Ayane's rations. Y'all know what these are. You know what these are. You've seen these before. But what the fuck is that? What is that? And what is that? Does anybody remember Ayane giving you cherries? I have no idea. These are all the Ninja Dog things. Equipable items and such. Here are your ribbons. You also have your image tiles for your different save statues. Here's your costume selection screen. Here are the 5 costumes that you can actually choose in Ninja Gaiden Black. Obviously not pictured as Ninja of the Future, but we figured that one out, didn't we? Mission menu. These, someone crudely numbered with paint or something, because they are kinds of sloppy. Smoke bombs. The other bangles are down here. They're separate from the other group. This is celerity. Gosh, I call myself a fan. And potency. There's a scroll. More text. There's a lot of text. Like that. Lunar is down here all by itself as well. And then we have some Spanish, some Italian, some German, some French. And then we have all the maps. So we left off up here, the Life of the Gods. Here's some more scrolls. I think this one's a flying swallow because there's a bird right there. So then one of these must be guillotine throw, and the other one is Zuna drop. Crank, medallions, oxygen tank. See, there's Jewel of the Demon Seal. This is Mulet. This is Mariah's letter that you never really look at. I always forget it's even freaking there. Ninja Gaiden arcade games with the American and Japanese covers. Card key, your elixirs, tablets from the pyramid, and here's our Ninpo. So here's our Ninpo, scroll 1, scroll 1.2, 1.3, 2, 2.2, 2.3, 3, and then we got scroll 4, fire wheel. The head, it says orb, but there's nothing there. A lot of stuff here. Pretty much every menu item you can look at, including the maps. Once I found the maps, dude, that's awesome. Now these dimensions, resolutions aren't great. 512 by 512. But, hey man, this is pretty sweet. You also have the maps in Japanese. And then after the English and Japanese maps, you have your chapter screens, which I have extracted. You have that option in Create Explorer. Select your texture, right click it. And what's worked for me is to export it as TGA and then drag it into Photoshop, and Photoshop can read it instantly. So I'm gonna guess that the top box is because, you know, back in the day, 2005, 4:3 aspect ratio was more common than widescreen. But if you did have a widescreen television, it would take the rectangle down here and then just line it back up along the side, which I've done manually for my Master Ninja videos. Those are going to be my thumbnails going forward. I'm taking these images, upscaling them in gigapixel, and using them as my thumbnail images. You have a damaged game tile, which I've never seen before, empty. And then here we go with your individual save statues and their associating thumbnail images. And what's really cool is like you have Hayabusa Village the first time you get there, and then Hayabusa Village second time you get there, Hayabusa Village first time you get there, second time you get there. It's the Zeppelin, Tyron at night and Tyron at day. So this is pretty cool to be able to like go through and see some of this stuff. Iones, scrolls. Here are your Ninja Clear rankings in higher definition. Thumbnails for the theater. The Talisman of Rebirth gets a biggin. And then we start getting into a bunch of junk text, junk letters. And then we start getting to other languages. Italian, French, German. Ah, here we go. Perfect. Okay. So this is SVLD. There's France, Germany, Italy, and Mexico. There is another one for English. I wanted to show this earlier, couldn't quite find it. So this looks like the save load screen, but it looks like it's from NG04 because you have these tiles 1 through 10, and you get more save slots than that in NGB. There's also some other things here. Look at the Ninpo. You have Inferno, right there. Ice Storm, Inazuma, Fire Wheels. What the fuck is that purple one? We've already gone through the Ninpo scrolls. We looked at all of them, all their levels, 1, 2, 3. What is that? What is that? I mean, I'm not as versed in NG04 as I am NGB. I have played the shit out of NGB, whereas NG04, I need to get back into it, especially now they got the Hurricane Packs working. But what the fuck is that? If somebody knows what that is, I would love the elucidation. So yeah, this weekend I did my damnedest, tried to figure out if there was a way I could play with textures, either mess with the colors or swap some weapons around, and so far I have been unsuccessful. But in doing all of that, I have found all of the sprite files that the game uses and doesn't use, as we've seen, and been able to convert them into a viewable format. So I suppose this wasn't a total wash, and I can still play with Ninja of the Future. But this is all on OG Xbox for right now. If I haven't looked into it, but if there's a way to jailbreak an Xbox One, rip an entire game to its hard disk, and then get into it and play around with it similarly, well then I could have Ninja of the Future in beautiful 4K. So yeah, this is what we got going on here. If anybody out there is versed in hex editing, programming, if anybody out there knows more about this shit than me, which there's gonna be a lot of you, I'm sure, 'cause I don't know shit about fuck, I would love your help. Just imagine playing the entire game, start to finish, with the UF. I would love to do that. We have a hump to get over. One of these days, we'll figure it out. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate your time. And we'll see you in the next video.